Right there, guys. This is the 4th edition now, I think, of this Liverpool Transfer Daily I've been doing this week. A little bit of a test, as I've been saying. Do you want to do it again today? You what, sorry, mate?
And I'm involved.
Yeah, you're involved in this one, yeah. I think you was in one on Monday as well, though, to be fair. So.
I was, yeah. No, I was in agony. I was in agony yesterday. I'm having a good day today, so I thought I'd jump on.
Nah, it's good, man. Good to have you on. I mean, as well, I want to just say this before we actually get going, guys. I know Martin's not been around, and some of you may or may not know that Martin's in Turkey or was in Turkey on holiday, and with the earthquake, he's fine. So there's no worries there about him. I think he was a little bit shook up by it, but he's okay. He's
excuse the pun. That's dreadful. That's dreadful. Yeah. Oh no, Martin. I hope to God he's all right, and Gemma and the kids. So yeah, that's as long as he's safe. That's the main thing.
Exactly, mate. And also, guys, so he's fine and everything like that, and the kids are and the family and stuff, so that's all good. Make sure you're hitting the like button when you join us, guys. We've got a fair few people watching on YouTube already. So then, Sean, where should we start today?
First of all, I'm just going to give a massive plug to number19apparelco.com, who are going to be offering basically t-shirts for the monthly quiz or monthly draws, and are going to be offering a for the Grand Master quiz that is next Monday. You're going to win a trophy, believe it or believe it not, a trophy, and you get to pick a t-shirt from number19apparel.co.uk. So follow them on all social media, check out the website, and tell them that AKM LFC sent you. There you go.
Yeah. Got some comments here from Sarah. Diaz going nowhere, Adam. Respect, bro. Is Wirtz at Anfield? No, I don't think Wirtz is at Anfield. He's playing in Germany today against Portugal. Diaz, I'm not ruling that out. I won't rule it out. That article from Joyce is a little perplexing, I'll say, like he says in his article. But we've also got Gareth as well here. Even in both, who will be announced first? Kerkez or I don't know why I keep nearly saying Goretzka. I don't know why. Kerkez or Wirtz. I reckon Kerkez. Yeah. I don't think you will see Wirtz this week, to be fair. I'd be surprised if we did. But first, we will start off with this that you've just sent me, Sean. So this is from Empire of the Cop, which is, to be fair, not really a site that I would use for news like this, but I guess it's something that I could probably see happening. But allegedly, they are saying that 8 clubs are eyeing a move for Joe Gomez for £25 million. The clubs that are interested are allegedly Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton, West Ham, Bournemouth, Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland. 25 million for Joe Gomez. I think that's not too bad considering what did we pay for him, like 12 or something back in the day from Charlton or something. Was he from Charlton? Did we got him from Charlton? I'm sure we got him from Charlton, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But I mean, he's such a versatile player. It's just a pity that he's been plagued with injuries and whatnot. But
yeah, I mean, he's just one of those players that I think he's like the longest reigning player at Liverpool right now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, he has.
But yeah, I liked Gomez, and I always remember he was doing really, really well when we were under Rodgers, and I think Rodgers put him at right back, and I think it was Fulham we were playing. It might have been it was Klopp actually, and we were playing Fulham, and he went running down with the ball, and he got like shoulder barged or fouled, and he went straight into Audins, and ever since he did that, I literally don't think he's been the same player since. But I do feel a bit sorry for him. I think they'll miss him around and stuff like that. But end of the day, I think with us coming into like a new era, like Arne Slot and stuff like that, I don't think you can kind of be sentimental. I think you've got to be a little bit ruthless in football. Otherwise, you'll never progress. You never get anywhere. So, yeah, for me, Joe Gomez, if you can get anything around 25 for him, I would. I'd not get rid, but I'd sell. You know, let him go get some first team football and play a bit more often. look at some of these comments here. So Bon said that he would sell Diaz and keep Gakpo. I agree. Love this Redmen TV. Fuck off. Bon 4 million. Gomez cost us. Did he really? Oh wow, nice one. Carl, no worries, mate. We only started 5, 6 minutes ago, mate. So you haven't missed much, pal. Mark Ross 4 million for Gomez. Nice one. Yeah. That was a bit of a steal. That, to be fair, wasn't it? Gary Richards, Talio, Adam and Shauno. One thinks Liverpool will sign Ekitike based on the data, sell Jota, Chiesa, Diaz, and there is the price for Ekitike. I don't think
tally ho, by the way, but I think that's
I don't think Chiesa. I don't think Ekitike comes to Liverpool, mate. It looks like he's off to Chelsea, in all fairness, pal.
But sell all of those players just for one player. I
can see them selling Nunes, Diaz, maybe Jota, but I think I honestly think Chiesa stays another season. Me, I really do. I would be surprised if he goes. Just judge on what he said in that interview in Italy the other day. Sarah, Adam, is Gakpo going to Bayern? Nah, I can't see that happening. Only if they paid like a stupid fee, like 70, 80 million. Then I'd sell him for 70, 80 million, yeah. But anything less than that, I'm not going to sell him. Carl, every time Gomez plays, I will him to score. He needs to score before he leaves, doesn't he? Which obviously, if he gets sold this window, is not going to happen.
About 2 seasons ago, he was so unlucky. I mean, he was hitting the crossbar. Honest to God,
mental. Can't see us selling Gomez and Kwanzaa. Nah, it's one or the other. One or the other. And then one for you, Sean. Carl says, "How's your back?"
Thanks, Carl, for asking. Basically, I have got to see the doctor. I've seen a consultant, and they basically say that I need surgery. Today's a good day, but yesterday I was crippled. But yeah, it'll probably need surgery.
Yeah, and I think you've said that it could be coming up quite soon as well, right? You're going to try or something like that, I think you said. But
I'm trying to hold off till September, to be honest with you. But just the pain that I was in yesterday, I was nearly saying, look, just do the fucking surgery tomorrow or do it today. You know.
Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
Miscusi Ekitike is not worth 100 mil now. He's not, in my opinion, either. Craig from Canada, how are you doing? Well, pal. Hope you're doing well.
All right, Craig.
Jen, evening, Jen. And then
Hi,
Rich
Jen.
T, hope you're well, mate. If Gomez leaves, he wants to go back to London. His agent hinted at this when linked to Newcastle last time. You must use LinkedIn a lot, mate. There was that as well, to be fair, when he was linked with Newcastle last summer with the whole Anthony Gordon Kwanzaa thing. Yeah, there was that about him wanting to go back to London, which kind of makes sense. You know, he's a London boy. We got him from down there, so. Any of them teams actually from London, though? That West Ham, wasn't it? Is West Ham the only one that's from London? Yeah.
I'm really annoyed. Sorry, Adam. I'm really annoyed that the song that I had for Kwanzaa didn't take off. You know, I'm really, really annoyed. I was going to record it, but yeah. Basically, it was "Tell me when will you be mine?" Kwanzaa, 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 Kwanzaa. It didn't, you know. If anyone wants me to record
it. Jen says she hopes you get well, Sean.
Thank you, darling. Appreciate that.
Gary Richards, Chiesa won't get any better. Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. There's been nothing regarding what happened with the parade, Craig, mate. Not as far as I'm aware at all, no. Jen, ready for the here we go. Come Rich and Michael get it sorted. Yeah. In fact, let's dive into that then, Sean. We've got the Kerkez stuff to cover first. So what I'll do is I'll share the old screen like I normally do, and we'll have a look at some of these tweets that I've got shared throughout the course of the day. Which one is it? I can't remember which one it is now. We'll have to just do this one. I think it's that one, yeah. There we go. That popped up for us to be able to see. There we go. So yeah. This one is Paul Joyce. I've got a video up on the channel about this right now, guys. It says, Liverpool are looking to finalise a deal for Milos Kerkez, with Bournemouth seeking 45 million for the left-back. When he goes a bit further into that, actually, he does mention how they won't accept anything less than 45 million for him. It could be a case of, you know, the total transfer fee could be 45 million, so you could pay maybe 30 million, 15 in add-ons, whatever. I don't know. It's very similar to what's going on with Wirtz right now, regarding the add-ons and everything. So that's the first one from Paul Joyce. We then also have this one, I think, as well, from David Ornstein, or maybe no, this is from a French outlet. They're saying that Bournemouth have reached an agreement on personal terms with Rennes left back Adrian Truffer, is that how you say his name? Who's set to replace Liverpool-bound Milos Kerkez. So, again, I think we're in a situation where pretty similar to what happened with Brentford signing Kelleher. You know, with them wanting to buy Leverkusen, wanting to buy their goalkeeper, but Brentford not wanting to sell until they'd got a replacement in Kelleher. So I think maybe that's what's holding up Kerkez, is they'll sell him, but they want to get a replacement, you know, in first. So what are your thoughts on that, mate?
Well, we're kind of doing things a little bit differently. I was speaking to one of my mates who actually was on here, Barry, and he was like, can they just not get the fucking deal done with Wirtz and all of this? But we seem to be doing things a little bit different. Rather than sell the players in order to bring them, we're now bringing in the players. What I'm more concerned about is what we sell after this. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I'd say Kerkez is the first signing. I think that will be the next signing. I think it's very. I think let's just go for the 45. Let's just hit it. Yeah. You know, if that's what they're looking for, just give it to them, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, let's just get it done. Let's get it over the line, Kerkez. I mean, probably I just like say potentially just waiting for them to get that French lad in. Well, he may be French, from the French football team. Get him in and see what the situation is regarding all of that. So I think that's pretty much all. We've got one more actually regarding Kerkez. So we'll have a look at this one from David Ornstein. He put this one out saying, in the short term, we need to keep an eye on the left-back situation with Milos Kerkez of Bournemouth, the top of Liverpool's list. There's no agreement between the clubs yet, and the player is very keen to join Liverpool. Liverpool know pretty much what they need to do from a financial perspective. That can be done pretty quickly as and when Liverpool come to the point in terms of the price that Bournemouth want, which is said to be 40 to 45 million pounds. Watch this space on that one. So again, probably similar to what's going on with Wirtz, to be fair. Like, he's playing international football right now, so wait for them games to be done, and maybe that one will be done. Do you know what I mean? Have to just wait and see.
Well, I think Wirtz and Kerkez have pretty much, put the writing on the wall that they want to go to Liverpool. Kerkez bloody signed a Liverpool jersey with his name on it, and then Wirtz has said he wants the number 10 at Liverpool. So, you know,
no. He said he didn't want the number 10. He says whoever said that is a clown. Basically, is what he said.
Okay. So I mean, he's expressed that he wants to go to Liverpool. So, you know, I can't see why the deal wouldn't be done unless we fuck it up. Yeah, make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. We've got 48 watching on YouTube. We've only 11 likes so far, guys. Come on, let's get them. What's with the?
We've got nearly 100 watching on X.
Come over to the money maker here.
Catch up on some comments. So JT, all right, folks, seen a link to for Milan for Chiesa today. Maybe. I mean, I wonder if that's coming from that that thing he did. He did an article where he basically said that he would be up for going back to Italy, but he's happy at Liverpool. So, you know, somewhat along them lines. It wasn't like a come and get me thing, but maybe that's where that's come from. Hope that Diaz stays. He played a huge part in the title win. Great to have as a squad player, even though he speaks fuck all English. Yeah, that's true, mate. Jen asks, are we watching the Germany game tonight? I think I might have it on in background. I might do. Carl said it'd be rude not to. The Diaz situation is very strange to me. He's put out a statement, and then his girlfriend and now Joyce are saying he's not going. That's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Them goodbye posts, and then Joyce. Yeah, that is. I didn't even think about that in my video. Well done, Jen, for that one. Thanks for that. I didn't actually think about that whatsoever.
Jesus, we might be getting rid of me and putting Jen here instead.
Aye, maybe.
Fucking hell.
Aye, not about that does make it even more stranger.
That's a
Jen.
great
Really
shout.
does.
That. Well
Good
done,
shout.
Jen.
Good shout. Got Jamie Phillips here. Hope you're doing well, pal.
Big up, Jamie.
Craig. Hi, Jen and all. Good to be here. Glad we got the 2 incoming. Hopefully, all the best to Kelleher. He's a great keeper. Sean, hope all things be okay. Hope all things be okay with you, basically.
Appreciate that, guys. I really do. Thanks for all the lovely comments.
Yeah, I think I wish Kelleher the best. I think we mentioned this yesterday, or I did anyway. I'm wishing Kelleher the best.
I mean, look, he's broken records and he's been absolutely superb. I mean, when Alisson was injured, you know, we and it's hard to say we hardly missed Alisson with how well Kelleher played, and he's always, you know, done his very best. And to me, you know, he's the second best keeper, if not in the Premier League, but the world. That's what I firmly believe. And I think Brentford have not only got a steal, but they've got a fantastic number one. And look, I do wish him the best. I really do. I just think Brentford is a step down for him. That's genuinely how I feel.
I've heard that a couple of times. Like, we'll stick on this for a little bit then. So, like, where would you have rather have seen Kelleher go? Because for me personally, I wouldn't have wanted him to go to a club that could potentially challenge Liverpool further down the line, even if it's FA Cup, Carabao Cup, whatever. I even, you know, I'd have thought of him going up to Scotland or something and playing for like Rangers or Celtic or something, or, you know, maybe even trying his hand abroad, like Dortmund or somewhere like that.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean, well, first of all, I hope he'd never play with Rangers, but Celtic, I mean, I don't think he's going to have much of a chance competing in the Champions League with Celtic. The SPL is so, and no offense to anyone that supports it, but the SPL is so piss poor. It's just like, I don't understand the draw really for the SPL or anyone watching it. It's just a 2-team fucking league. But I would have seen him going abroad, or I would have hoped that he would have gone abroad and not compete against us. That's genuinely how I felt. And I also felt that he would go to a bigger club. So maybe somewhere in Germany, maybe somewhere in Spain, maybe even Italy. But I don't know whether it was kind of like a quick decision for us to say, all right, Brentford have gone in for him, let's let him go. Or maybe we could have held off and maybe, got more for him and possibly, got him to a better club. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm still of the belief it's tied to Wirtz a little bit. I just it may be a coincidence, the fact that Leverkusen were buying Brentford's goalkeeper and they wanted that wrapped up. So we just kind of thought, fuck it, let's just let you, tech Kelleher for a little bit cheaper so you can get that deal sorted out, and then we can focus on Wirtz. Maybe it's coincidence, like I say. I might be completely talking out my ass, but it's just a thought.
Well, AKM.
Where are we up to? JT, a huge Saudi offer for Diaz will persuade them. Yeah. I think you get 70, 80 million for Diaz, and I think you bite their hand off, basically. Brentford manager is linked to Spurs now. I think Kelleher has made a mistake signing for Brentford if the manager leaves. Yeah, probably, mate. They've lost Mbuemu. Well, they haven't as of yet, but they're going to lose Mbuemu to... I know what you're laughing at. They lost Mbuemu to Man United, haven't they? So, Muscusi, how good does it feel having targets that want to play for us? It does, mate. I mean,
it's amazing.
How often has that happened? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. Will we need a player for Andy's side as well? With Kerkez, mate. Kerkez is coming in as the left back with him. So that'll be there, mate. Guy Richards, Isaac is injury prone, plus Enteke TK has the same stats as Isaac. I was actually talking to Gavin this morning, actually. It might have been yesterday. I have a sneaky suspicion, and I've got nothing to back this up whatsoever. But just looking at the striker market right now, I would be surprised if Liverpool bought a striker. Just a thought.
I don't understand why they wouldn't. I mean, if they're getting rid of Nunez, Jota's injury prone, like, why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand why you wouldn't, buy a number 9.
The only other player who I think they could realistically get, I mean, Ekitike, I think he'd be a good player for Liverpool, but just the rumours are linking him with Chelsea very heavily now. And if Frankfurt want 100 million euros for him, I can't see Liverpool paying that after paying over 100 million for Wirtz. I can't see that happening. If the only other player they could potentially get is Šeško, maybe from RB Leipzig, but then again, he's been linked with Arsenal. Who else? Like, you could wait a year and maybe go and get Isaac next year, but then you're sacrificing a season to wait for somebody. But we did that last year when we didn't buy nobody and we won the fucking league. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I can't think of, unless you can get Julian Alvarez out of Atletico Madrid, then I don't know who you would look to bring.
I just personally think that if we didn't go for a number 9, I think would be a failure of a transfer window. That's genuinely how I would feel.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had difficulties up front and depending largely on Salah, and if Salah's not in form, then where are the goals coming from?
Jen says she can't believe the change in FXG with the transfers. John must be on new medication. Let's wait and see, Jen. What happens come the end of the window? Who leaves? Because I would not.
My mind up.
I would not, and I've put this out there before, and I'm going to say it again. If Real Madrid win this Club World Cup Championship, whatever it is, and they get 100 million, I would not be surprised if they came knocking for McAllister. I would not rule that out.
They can fucking knock away. I don't want him going anywhere.
I swear, I think if they offered 90 million for McAllister, I think Liverpool would take that. I do. After spending 35 on him.
Neil Cadwell, let me just touch base on that. I think what happened there was Kelleher was injured. Sorry, just read out his comment. Wasn't long ago, Kelleher was struggling to get a game for Ireland. How times have changed. That was the time that Kelleher got an injury, and then Gavin Bazuna then got number 1, and then he played so well. But I think there was a dip in form for him, and then Kelleher came back in. But Kelleher, to me, is number 1, without a doubt.
Well, we're up to top of it. I just want to catch up on a few of these. Cheers. Got the like. Did you see the interview with Gerrard lately on transfers? I did. I watched snippets of it this morning, where he talked about Wirtz and stuff like that. Yeah, I did watch that, mate. Miss Goosey, hit the likes, guys. Like it's Jake Paul's face, please. You're a legend, Shauna, from the Gen.
Pleasure.
Gary Richards, what formation do you think Slot will use next season? I reckon he either sticks with what he's been using now, or we do what he did against Man City and Newcastle, which I'd forgot about yesterday. I was told about this, where he plays 2 10s in the middle. And you have a bit more of like a bit of a box midfield. So you'd have, I don't know how best to do this. I've got a pen and paper here. Hold on.
I'm working this out myself.
Maka, Sabaz, Wirtz, winger. Boom, 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 boom. Keepers up. I've got to count this, make sure I've got it right. So he'd have something like that, if you can see it. I don't think it's showing it properly. So he'd have keeper, back 4. You'd have your 2 sitting, so you'd have Maka and Grav. Then you'd have Saboz, Wirtz, Salah, Gakpo. And then Wirtz and Szoboszlai would take it in turns, rotating to go down the middle, which is what Jones and Szoboszlai did when we were playing against Man City. So I could see him doing that potentially if we don't go out and sign the number 9. If we do sign the number 9, I reckon he probably sticks with what he's doing now. But I don't know. Kelleher has been a legend for us. I wish him well, and he deserves to play as a number one. Yeah, I agree with that. We've done the Neil one. Shauna said to me, Kelleher will be on the bench at Brentford. Bloody hell, Shauna.
No, it didn't.
Gary says sell Diaz as soon as possible. JT, got to say, I'm nervous about these players that have one foot in the door getting injured in these internationals.
Yeah.
I know, mate, but it's one of those as well where if they'd already signed, they'd still be playing, wouldn't they? These games, mate. It's what is it? Is it the semi-final of the Nations League Summit?
Biggest waste of fucking.
I don't even know.
It's just I don't even pay attention to that shite.
Yeah, I don't know. Neil again says maybe there's interest in Gakpo and keeping Diaz. See, we'll talk about this Diaz stuff now because basically this is what Paul Joyce tweeted out. Well, he wrote an article and this is what's been tweeted after. Is it that one? Yeah. So this is what have been pulled out of his article, is that it basically says that Liverpool have received no expressions of interest in Luis Diaz and are not actively looking to sell him. However, Liverpool have no plans to open talks with Diaz, who has 2 years left on his current deal. There's one other bit as well that's missing out of that, where it picks out his age. It says he's going to be 29 halfway through this season. So I'm kind of like thinking that I don't know. That article's weird. It's a weird article because if you just stick with that first bit, like Liverpool got no expression of interest in him, they don't want to sell him, blah 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 blah. Fine, but why did you have to add in the bits about we're not going to give him a contract? Plus, he's going to be 29 halfway through next season. Sorry.
I think that's basically what most articles are like nowadays from these so-called Liverpool journalists. You know my views on them, and it's a case of us dissecting what is said and what we believe to be true or not. I think Joyce is probably playing safe. They may look at maybe a contract next season. And maybe leave it then, maybe give him an additional 1 year because of his age, or 2 years. But I think if we get rid of Diaz, I think it's a mistake.
I don't know about giving him a new deal because he's not at the Salah level.
No.
You know what I mean? So like, if we're going off what they've done in the past, Edwards and Ward and Richard Hughes now, obviously he's not been here in the past, but you know what I mean? If you believe the stuff that's been mentioned and that's been going on in the background, is that they initially left the club because they had a fallout with Jurgen Klopp because he wanted Jordan Henderson to sign that big deal, James Milner, and a couple of other players that were a little bit older, and they didn't agree with it. But then they were overruled by Klopp. And they were just like, well, fuck it, then we're off. Do you know what I mean? So I personally think that when a player starts getting to that point now where, the 29, 30, if they're not peaking and becoming like a Salah-esque player, like breaking records, scoring goals for fun, having assists, this, that, and the other, or a Virgil van Dijk, who's probably like the best centre-back in the world, I think they move you on. I think they think, yeah, you've done well. You're still a good player. We can get a decent whack for you, but there's probably someone younger out there that can give just as much as what you're giving. So I think that's what happens.
I don't know.
Where are we up to? Craig, do you know the pre-season list out where we're playing in the summer? I actually don't, mate. I think are they going over to like Singapore or something? Is it like Asia again? They're going over to Japan or something out there. I can't remember.
I think it's Asia, and I mean Dean Sanders on TalkSport made a very, very good point that how are you meant to have players recover from number one traveling and number two playing football and then getting on a plane straight away. So he reckons that a lot of the injuries stem from these tours, and they're basically thinking of the commercial end of things. And I'm beginning to think the same, if I'm honest with you. I think it's, I think
there's only two games that are booked so far, which I can see. So the first game's in 51 days against AC Milan in Japan at the Kaitak Stadium. And it kicks off over here at 12:30. And then the next game we play is 4 days after that on a Wednesday at the Nissan Stadium. And it's 11:30 kickoff against Yokohama FM, whoever they are.
Sounds like a radio station.
Yeah. So yeah, they're the only 2 preseason games that have been announced, I think, on their Liverpool website. Anyway, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Gakpo would be big money. Yeah, he would be. Do you think they might look at a false 9 with the new lineup? If they go with that box midfield, yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Real Madrid will get knocked out, says Jen. William White. Don't think Madrid is winning, if I'm honest. PSG will probably take that too. All being well, mate. If they've got the same...
PSG are on fire.
PSG, man. They are the team that everyone wants to aspire to be now. They are insane.
And when you think about it...
I'm going to just say this now, like, when they had their superstars like Messi, Ibrahimovic, Mbappe, you know, all that lot, I think people hated them because they were just chucking money at stuff. Now, they're still kind of paying out a little bit of money for these players, but they're all young. Some of them are like a French born. Some of them are like from Paris themselves, like Desiree or whatever. Like, I think I can't stop talking about Desiree. He was incredible in that Champions League final. If I could take anyone from PSG right now, it'd be him. I would take Desiree. But yeah, I think they've got a good young side, and I do think that Arne Slot will look to replicate what they did. Like, I think that's the new... Football goes in phases. It had tiki-taka, Guardiola. Then it went to like Klopp's heavy metal football. It seems to be going back to a more physical, constant rushing, and probably a little bit of a combination of the tiki-taka, Gegenpress type thing that Klopp and Guardiola were doing.
Slot rock.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens. But, you know, as well, you got to remember that Arne Slot comes from Holland, and they are known for a type of football that's called total football, where they just keep hold of the ball and pass it around and stuff like that all the time. So that's why you're looking at players like a Wirtz coming in. Like, watch some compilations of this kid. He can run with that ball like it's nothing, and he can make passes, he can do everything. So, yeah, I think something like that.
I was about to make the same point that you made about PSG. I mean, with all those divas and superstars, they did jack shit. And then when they did things differently, I mean, look what they've done. So, to be honest with you, I am kind of delighted that they won the Champions League, you know.
Same, mate. Same, 100%. Oh, bloody hell. Them subs are going up. I don't mean to. I just look now when I was looking for some other news. So, yeah, that's decent, guys. Thanks for everyone that's subscribed recently. Thank you for subscribing. Carl agrees about the McAllister thing, but I don't think we would let him go this summer. It depends, mate. I think if they go out and they sign, if Real Madrid come to Liverpool and say, look, 100 million, 90, 100 million for a player you spent 35 million pounds on, and you could probably go out and sign someone, or maybe you don't even have to. You know, you could have Szoboszlai playing in the position that McAllister were playing, and you'd have Jones to rotate in and out. If you've got Stefan Bajcetic still about, or Harvey Elliott even, whatever. I don't think Elliott will stay. I think Elliott will go. But who knows, mate? Who knows? You know, we've got to see what Liverpool are spending money like it's going out of fashion right now. So they're going to have to make it back somewhere, guys. Gary Richards, Wirtz cannot be a false 9. Liverpool's 2 strikers of Vlahovic and Kerkez would do, but no to false 9. When we had a false 9 last time, we won pretty much everything with Bobby Firmino. So, you know, I wouldn't say no to another false 9 again.
Good point.
With Wirtz, he's a player, guys. Wirtz is a player. So is Gakpo off then, says Jen? I don't think so.
I hope not. I hope not. So. He's just found his form last season.
Yeah. Adam, if we sell Diaz and Nunes, you still think we don't sign? I believe we will, but it will be something from nowhere. I don't know, mate. I really don't know. Because if you were to go... See, I
could look at the squad depth.
I could see them selling Diaz and Nunes, and then going out and signing someone like Bradley Bacola from PSG, who doesn't seem to be getting any minutes over there, or a Xavi Simons for someone like that, someone who can play anywhere across the front three. I really don't know, guys. Like, I don't have the answer. Like, I can't see a number 9 out there other than Julian Alvarez that would fit this system that Arne Slot wants to play. I mean, Kerkez is not for me. He didn't do it well in England the last time he was in England. People are forgetting that he seems to have scored a lot of goals last year, but 20 of them were penalties. So you've got to take them off. Do you know what I mean? Benjamin Sesko, he's young. He's got a high ceiling, but if he doesn't hit that ceiling, it's a risk. Same with Ekitike. He's young with a high ceiling, but again, he's got to get there. I don't think there's any bona fide number 9s out there anymore. I think the last one that was on the market was Erling Haaland. I can't think of one. I really can't. I know that all the fans and everything are like raving about all these players, this, that, and the other. And don't get me wrong, if they come into the club, I will support them left, right, and centre. I'm not going to like not support them and disagree with it, but I don't know. I can't see a number 9 out there other than Julian Alvarez. The paper doesn't suit it for me. Some of the data out there for like Kerkez and Ekitike. Ekitike could be the other one because of his build-up play and everything like that. Maybe of Vlahovic as well. He's got a little bit of that about him. But then again, they're all risks. Do you know what I mean? They're all risks. And every player is a risk. But I don't know.
I don't think we can take, that much of a risk after Nunes. So,
Yeah. And I am a little bit kind of wary of getting players from Portugal now. So I don't know. William White, to Gary, our wingers are way too dominant on the ball to sign a typical number 9. It doesn't work with the way we play. Nunes' weaknesses have been further enhanced because of this. Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
Craig appreciates us for the friendlies. Bon, Liverpool is looking for more money for Diaz. Mind games, yeah. Probably a little bit behind that, mate. Craig agreed with Sean. He worked so hard always, more than how Jota has lately. Who's that in? Is that in Diaz?
I think probably Diaz or Gakpo.
Yeah. Neil, I was surprised Nunes wasn't sold to Saudi earlier this year. That's because there was I don't know how long you've been subscribed here, mate. So I don't mean to like say something out of hand, but I've been saying since January, I do not believe that offer came in. I feel like that. What's that? Victor Melju. I don't believe it. I literally just don't. I really don't. I don't believe.
That, I think they would have snapped the hands off them if they were offered that money. Or
absolutely,
for him.
Absolutely snapped their hands off regarding 70 million for a player that didn't start a game again, and you never really played him again.
I mean, let's be honest here, guys, and answer this on the chat. How much do you honestly think we'll get for Nunes with any club? How much do you genuinely think that we'll get for Nunes?
I reckon you're lucky to get 30 to 40 million, me.
I really do too.
Lucky.
I mean, we're at a massive loss with that. Massive.
Yeah. I think he came to a total of like 76 million, I think, something like that. Not the 84, just because he didn't play that one more game. Jen, have we had any offers for Nunes? Not that I'm aware of. Nunes has just signed a new deal. Fuck, honest. William White, based on his Instagram post and his missus' Instagram post, I'd be hard pressed to think Diaz isn't leaving. Yeah, I think we kind of all agree with that, mate. It's weird that article came out after that. Maybe that's the reason why. The article came out. Nick, Gakpo is the highest scorer after Mo, so why will Liverpool want to sell him? I don't think they will, mate. I don't think they will. Craig, didn't Diaz's dad say he wanted to play in Spain? Yeah, he said that last year, mate. Gareth, we would miss Maka if we sold him big time. I agree with that, mate.
Really?
Born, I think Liverpool will say no to Madrid for McAllister.
I hope so.
I hope so, but it depends on how much, doesn't it?
I think he was the third best player of that season in that team.
Yeah. More Gravenberch, McAllister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can go with that. Craig says bring back Bobby. No way Madrid can do one. What do I think about Hato at centre back? I would be all over him. Really would.
I think we need to look at the centre backs, to be honest with you, because if we get rid of Gomez and Kwanzaa, there's a big question mark. I think we need to look at strengthen the squad depth for centre back, because we could be possibly losing to probably Kanate as well if he doesn't sign the contract.
Yeah.
Thank you for the Hearts expelled from Europe.
Oh, I've just seen that one. Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I was up to Craig. Get like another attacker from Asia, like Son. Yeah, there's Kubo. Could get Kubo. He's pretty good. Question: we always have a local player like Gerrard, Jamie, and Trent. Who would be next? I think it's Curtis Jones, isn't it? Curtis Jones is.
That's quite possible. Him leaving too.
Yeah. Sarah says keep Diaz. Bon reckons we get 60 million for Nunes. Fucking mate, if we get 60 million for Nunes, I'll drive him there, Miss N.
Not a hope.
What's the Simicast situation? I've heard nothing. I don't think anyone's seen anything. I think the expectation is that he's going. He put like an Instagram post out as well, which basically was sounding like a bit of a goodbye. So yeah, watch this space, I suppose. I mean, with Kerkez coming in, you're going to have to move on either Robbo or Shimikas, so one of them's got to go. Bond says he would keep Gomez. Sorry, God, 1 minute. Thanks for watching, Craig, mate. Glad you could catch us tonight, mate. Archie, look after Magnus Akaluccio. I can't pronounce that name, mate. Have a go, Shano.
Magnus Akaluccio. That's how I would pronounce it.
Love that guy if Diaz leaves.
Is this I wonder, is this a made-up name? I don't think we've.
You type it in and have a look.
I'm typing it in. Hello now.
Nunes is still on the 25. He is, mate. He is. But form-wise, stats-wise, who would take the risk on him?
Now, Archie, I do apologize. He's actually playing for AS Monaco. He's a midfielder, number 11, and he's 23 years old. The stats this season: 32 games, 5 goals, 10 assists, and 2 yellows.
Not bad. Not bad.
So yeah.
Mark Ross reckons we get 45 for Nunes. That again, that's nice little ballpark, I think, for Nunes.
I think we'd be lucky with 45, Eve. I really do. Honestly, God.
Right then, guys, we'll go on to the Florian Wirtz situation before we wrap things up. Oh, we've got Carl here. Shimikas, interest from these. Yeah, I've seen that, mate. I've seen the Leeds interest. Who's the fourth signing?
All right, Ben.
Right there, Ben, mate. Signing? I don't know. Like, again, I would have thought it would have been a striker, but I just can't see. I can't think of a striker's name out there that would come in. I could be completely and utterly wrong. I could have misread the stats. I could be completely off the ball, but I just the only ones out there that make any real sense are Šeško. Alvarez is number 1. Šeško and Ekitike. That's it. They're the only one. I wouldn't go for Kerkez. I wouldn't go for Isaac. Too expensive. Other than that, I'm kind of stuck on who you could go out and get. Do you know what I mean? Kind of stuck.
The way I look at it is, guys, I first of all, squad depth, right? I think we need a bigger squad, and I think we need to have backup, right? Because players can be inconsistent and think that they're guaranteed a spot because there's a weaker bench, and I think that can be a problem. yes, we've just won the league, but we need to build on that. The second thing is that we shouldn't hold off on, what positions that we need signing and we need beefing up. We shouldn't hold that off for another season or another transfer window or another transfer window and leave it maybe 2-3 years. A rebuild should be, that opportunity, that window, and that window only. So then we don't have to spend the next summer and the summer after and the summer after. If you have a proper summer, you bring in the players that you need, and that's it. And this is the issue and the narrative that's been pushed out there for anyone that's skeptical of FSG, is that we just want to spunk money up against the wall every transfer window, and that is not true. That is just simply not true. It's all about necessary spending. So I think we need a centre back. I really do. I think we might need two, maybe a defensive midfielder, and I think a striker. I really think we need a striker.
Yeah, I think a centre half or a striker would be probably best shouts for the next signing. Where are we up to? Canate latest. I saw something earlier today saying he rejected 2 contracts. Don't know how true that is, but allegedly that's what's happened. If that's the case, I would not be messing about any. I would be looking to sell him before the end of next month. How long of flow to LSE imminent? Flow only wants Liverpool. I just want. Yeah, I think that's coming, mate. It's coming.
I think we all want that, to be honest with you.
I think we sign Gahey at some point. Won't be a bad shout, mate. Just hope that Ekatike isn't our striker. Ben Osherman would be unreal, as I mentioned before. You have, mate. I think he'd be expensive wage-wise. That player that you was on about earlier, Shauno, he's a right winger. He's quality, allegedly. I'm going to have to keep an eye on him and have a look, actually, before we've finished all this.
I think
I just realised what that picture is.
What is it?
So is Kelleher gone to Brentford? He's gone. He's signed.
Gone already,
he's a Brentford player now. JT, with you on that Monaco winger. Links to the young German striker. You have to let me know who that is, JT, mate. Man City have gone to South American market shopping again. That's a market we need. Same as Real Madrid. Some good strikers there. We could get 2 for 1 there. There is a player that PSG are close to signing, and I can't pronounce his name. I think it's like Master Ranuro or something like that. Now, I'm going to sound like a bit of a thing here, but I always sign him on Football Manager. Like, I've been playing football.
Don't say that.
He's good, right? He's good. And PSG are on about, like, getting him. But then apparently Real Madrid have also stepped in according to Fabrizio Romano to see if they can get him. So, don't know. He's very similar to like a Wirtz, though. So, I don't think we need him right now. And I think he's like 19 years of age. So,
but are these South American players, are they always going to want to go to the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid? That's what you got to worry about. Are they going to look at Liverpool as a stepping stone? Because I don't want players like that anymore.
Yeah. Eddie says 50 million for Nunez. Be lucky, I think, mate. Do you believe the wages that Wirtz is getting is a 325 a week? I can't see Liverpool paying him that. There's stuff saying that he's not going to be on as much as Mo Salah, but he probably will be on near 300k, you have to say. I reckon that's within that, what you've said there, 325. I reckon you within 50k of that down or there. Do you know what I mean? I reckon it's anything between 275 to 325, I reckon, for Florian Wirtz. They have said, though, that he will be earning less at Liverpool than he would have done if he'd have gone to Bayern.
I think the danger, though, of giving them like a big wage is, what do you do then when the contract is up for renewal? You know, he's going to want more. So that's a problem. Otherwise, sign him to a 6 or 7 year deal.
Yeah. Do you think Dan's will be loaned out again? If we get a striker, yeah. If we don't, probably not. Maybe he might be the one that we go with down the middle. I don't know. He seemed all right when he played, but I wouldn't want to rest the club on him, I suppose. Put the club on his shoulders. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see what he's like in pre-season. I reckon he gets pre-season to see how good he is, and then we'll see what happens. Ben, anyone seen those Chiesa reports that he has agreed to AC Milan move? Would be stupid in my opinion, especially if Diaz and Gakpo go. Means a left winger has to be brought in. I'll do some digging before the next live stream. Again, I think this all stems from that interview we did with them people in Italy. I don't think he actually said that. They asked him. They asked him, "Do you think he would you go back and play in Italy or something?" And he said, "Yeah, of course I would, but I'm happy at Liverpool now." Something along them lines. And I think this is where that's all coming from, to be fair. Are the Kerkez rumours true, which came from a betting app? Not sure, no reliable sources. I don't know. I don't want it. You got to think as well, guys, the bookies are not really reliable. Like, because remember, before we had Slot, they had Xabi Alonso and Ruben Amorim as the two favourites. And then Arne Slot got hired. So,
God, we didn't go for Ruben Amorim. Jesus Christ.
Wirtz is 200k a week. Please do your homework before you all come on here. I ain't seen any reports of any sort of wage, mate. All I've seen is that he'd be on less at Liverpool than he would have been at Bayern. And there is some people saying 325. I have seen that. But
I'm trying
if he's
to
on
make
200k, that'd be decent, I suppose, for Liverpool.
I'm trying to make out that profile picture.
I'll tell you when we go off. Can we do the triple next season? Yeah, the treble, yeah. Yeah, we can do. All being well, see who we sign.
Let's do the fucking quadruple.
Yeah, why not? Right, mate, let's get this Florian Wirtz stuff done, because I do have to go soon.
Yeah.
So, first one is this one. So, Paul Joyce, Liverpool have already signed Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen for 29.5 million and are looking to finalise a deal for his teammate Florian Wirtz. So, that's the first one we have there regarding the whole Wirtz situation. The next one we have is the one I think I did a video on this one, to be fair, just before we went live, which is this one here. So this is from the new kid on the block, Lewis Steele. Sources in Germany say a deal to sign Wirtz is 99% done, an incentivized package that would smash Liverpool's transfer record. Wirtz is extremely keen on a move to Anfield. This is now a matter of when, not if. So, again, we're hearing that. To be fair to him, Lewis Steele is actually in, what is it?
Daily Mail.
Germany now. He's in Germany now for the Germany game. So, maybe he has been speaking to people there. I'll have to wait and see. And then the last one to share is this one from David Ornstein, where he says, on Florian Wirtz, Leverkusen want a higher figure, so if and when Liverpool do edge up, it could well be a British record transfer fee, should this get over the line. Where things are now is that this is progressing in the right direction and the talks are ongoing. I think they're now onto the stage of potential add-ons, the makeup of the deal, the bonuses, and how they would be achieved. So it's clearly at an advanced stage. But from what I'm hearing, it's not quite at the finish line yet. And there is more work to be done. But for Liverpool and the supporters, there's reason to be optimistic. I do think they're going to get this deal done, not only because they're pushing so hard in the club-to-club negotiations, but also the desire of Wirtz too. So, matter of time, guys, to sign with that. Do you know what I mean? Matter of time for Wirtz. Jamie, regarding Wirtz, he'll be on 16 million a year. Let's see what that works out to be.
Are you calculating what's that per month?
Oh, per week, yeah.
Or per week? Hold on while we do some calculations there.
So apparently that doesn't look right. He's not done that right. Oh, no.
Did you carry over the one?
No. Their talk of Tyler Morton going to Leverkusen. I think that was there last year as well, to be fair, mate. I think that was not last week, last season. 307.692.31 a week is what Florian Wirtz would be on. So let's just round up to 308k a week. That's 16 million a year, obviously before tax. William White, I would be surprised if we sign an attacker who can go across all the three positions of the attack. A winger who can pop up anywhere is what Slot wants. Dutch total football, PSG, and all Barca as an example. Yeah, mate. And I think Florian Wirtz is that player, to be fair. He can play across the front three and in midfield. Real McCoy, you aren't winning anything next year if you rip up the team by selling Diaz and Canate.
I think that's a very good point. And I think we have to be careful with what we sign and when we sign, because you want them to gel with the team as quickly as possible. And I think, late deals are always the worst deals because they literally have to hit the ground running without really, getting a proper pre-season. So I totally agree with that.
Just to play devil's advocate, like I always like to do, if Canate is basically refusing to sign a new contract, you're not selling him then.
Well, I mean, that's a really, really difficult one. And I think if Canate is adamant in going to PSG or somewhere in France and not interested in signing a contract, then we cannot afford to lose money again on a defender. We just can't. So I think we have absolutely no option. But if he rejects another contract, we sell him this summer. So while I agree with Rail McCoy, if Canate rejects another contract offer, I think we have to offload. With regards to Diaz, I don't think we should offload him at all.
So if, for instance, again, devil's advocate, someone comes in and offers you 80 million for Luis Diaz, you wouldn't sell him?
No.
When you're not going to offer him a new contract?
Well, he's got 2 years left.
Mm-hmm.
So we could sell him next year.
Yeah, I suppose, but you probably get less for him.
We may do, we may not.
Have to see.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, out of the context, off context, but what do you think of Mbeumo choosing United? He must be getting paid some money.
Career
he must be getting paid some money.
Career suicide. Look at Lenny Euro. He got greedy. His agent got greedy. He was like only a youngster, and he was looking for first team football. He was looking for this, and this, and look where the fuck he is now. So, if Mbeumo has decided to go to United, he's on a sinking ship, and he's just basically caused career suicide for himself. So, go for it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Sarah, I think you might be leaving. Respect, guys. Thanks for watching, Sarah. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for getting involved. Thanks for getting involved, Carl, mate. Hope you have a good evening, mate. It's not difficult. Sell him. Diaz has been looking for a way out for 18 months. I agree with that. Russell, we should sell Jota and get Jonathan David and then get an Ekitike as a project and rotate both as the striker, which means selling Nunes and Jota for a profit. Mate, I remember when you commented about Jonathan David a few months ago now, and I am surprised he's still not being snapped up on a free transfer. I really am. So, but I would be over getting Jonathan David. I really would. Mark with the 308 for Florian Wirtz's wages. Sell Diaz and get in Gittins from Dortmund. Not a bad shout, mate. I think he's got a high ceiling. The real McCoy. Grav, Mac, Wirtz midfield won't work because Maka isn't mobile enough and the midfield of Grav and Saboz and Wirtz is the right midfield. So he's dropping McAllister out of midfield and putting Wirtz in.
Jesus.
I wonder if Wirtz is going to play further forward, though. Like, if he's going to come in and play off the left or as the false 9. He can play anywhere across that front 3 and also play as a 10. So we'll have to see, won't we? Miscusi's going. I'm off to make Sean our supper. He gets cross when he's hungry. Good night.
I do.
And Miscusi, if you need anything, mate, just text me. You know, I'll be round to sort Sean out if need be, mate. Not having no abuse.
He promised me a back massage as well. The fucker hasn't given
it. No, JT, sorry, mate. I did see that. I just didn't get to it. So, Nick Waltman, if that's how you pronounce his name, he will be playing up top with Wirtz in 10 minutes. That's a huge German striker I was on about. I'll put that game on, mate, and we will see what it's all about for him, to be fair. Like, I want to see what he's all about. But, yeah, see what his link-up plays like with Wirtz today. See what it's all about. Other than that, I think we're pretty much all caught up here, guys. So, yeah, we've gone for an hour. I actually wanted to do a bit of a short one today. But yeah,
never short, is it?
Never we're done short. For today, guys. We will be back. Well, I'll be back. Not sure if Sean will be able to see if Sean is available or not. Back again tomorrow night. Again, 7 o'clock. Friday stream, however, maybe a few hours early. It may be around about 5 o'clock, which I know it's probably not best for most people because you're probably just finishing work or at work or anything like that. But it'll be on the channel for you to catch up afterwards. We'll see what happens regarding that anyway. We'll see what we're going to have to cover and everything. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, as usual. We've had a fair few people watching today. Make sure you're hitting the like button on your way out. We do have a fair few people still watching on X as well. Make sure you come over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. And we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.